When I got the email from Bertrand, since I've been following Raphael, but I've never met him, I didn't really know what to expect. I imagined like different scenarios, and I could imagine how it could have been really bad if you arrive there and you have to skate for 3 days this sculpture and it's really badly built or badly organized, and can become a nightmare quite easily. But we've been welcomed really nicely by the people at the museum. We got to see the sculpture on the first day. We got to see it unwrapped and new, and it was really exciting because we could see it at first being unwrapped, but we couldn't touch it. We were not allowed to touch it first. So it was like, oh, is it gonna grind? Is it gonna slide? Like, how is it gonna feel to be? Is it heavy? Maybe it's gonna move when we skate it. And it ended up being really good. We could skate it for hours because the size was not so big. And we found ways to skate it that we didn't even think about before as well, just from like trying.
Times when you skate like an art piece or a sculpture or whatever, these things are in a place that's well designed, because already you need some space around the sculpture to watch the sculpture, which already makes for some open space, which is already great for skateboarding. I mean, I really like places where you have just some space to skate flat ground and to roll around and not do the same back and forth every minute. The people that designed it probably thought about how they could make it as nice as possible and enjoyable to be there, which is already a big part of any place you would want to be or any skate spot. Like if it's a nice place just to hang out and drink a coffee, it's probably going to be nice to skate some flat or a sculpture or whatever in this place. And then we were part of the exhibition somehow, so the attention that people give to the skateboarding is kind of positive and curious. I'm not sure if they were sure of it. Maybe they thought like open city, open museum, like maybe they knew we were part of it. I didn't feel like we were performing on modern or on a contemporary sculpture at all. Like it just felt like skating a ledge, basically. Just one that looks good on the photo. You know what I mean?
I started skating, I think, when I was 8 or 9 years old with like plastic board. It was in the countryside in southern France, near Nîmes. But it was only after a couple of years that I realized that there was actually something else at these little boards, and there are some people like really skateboarding. And probably the first time I saw like real good skaters, that was in Montpellier when they built the first skate park in Antigone. The project for the Maxxi actually starting a few years ago, when I was doing a residency at the French Academy here at the Villa Medici. I was writing a little book about the topography of skateboarding, like what type of spaces skateboarders are using and what type of strategies. Because I wanted to show that first they find the spot, they come to know these structures, and then in another part they will rebuild this type of structure in skate parks by doing a kind of synthesis of different spaces that they liked before. I thought that maybe beyond vandalism there was something to learn from the practice of skateboarders. because there were a lot of different moments in the story of sculpture in the 20th century where actually sculptures were not something just to be looked at, something that you could interact with. Really what I am interested in is the question of reuse, or how something was made for something, and after a while maybe some other people see a certain potential in it. So I kind of took things from art history, things from skateboarding, and tried to tell a bit of a story and try to learn from skateboarding. The issue now is to turn the space in front of the museum to make it public, because normally the skaters of Rome are not allowed to skate here. So with the sculpture of Tony Smith, Free Ride, it's actually a free ride at the Maxxi or for the Maxxi. So for 3 days, skateboarders were allowed to skate this beautiful spot. You have like a really nice concrete, it rolls perfectly. You can flat ground it, or you could skate the ledge, the Tony Smith ledge. And it was very beautiful ambience I found. There were 2 skaters like sent by Carhartt who supported the project, who actually funded the sculpture itself, like Sylvain, Tognelli and Bram. Then you had all the Romans coming, and there was really a nice mix of locals and other skaters. I think it was a very nice ambience. This was really what I think a public space is.